Other guys, um, something came to me this morning while I was actually listening to something, and it wasn't even what they were talking about. It just came to me, dropped straight in my spirit, and I'm just like, I think I need to talk about that. And so I started thinking about. I don't really know where I'm going with this here. I'm just kind of flowing. I started thinking about people. I started thinking about the internet. I started thinking about like what's going on out in the world. I started thinking about how people represent, especially the Black community, and how it's not even about how it looks to others. It's really not. It's really more so about healing ourselves because a lot of times, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. A lot of times, the negativity isn't always what makes you heal. It isn't always what drives your for you to even be motivated to start wanting to heal. It is the acceptance. It's when people start accepting and acknowledging that yeah, this is what it is, but it ain't the end of the world. It ain't the worst. Like it can I can still accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're never going to meet a person that everything is perfect. And even if it is perfect, or if that person's walking around like they're perfect, or they feel everything is perfect with them, they're gonna probably meet a narcissist or probably meet a negative person, let's just say, who is going to show them just how imperfect they really are. And that is not necessarily a good thing. It's just a part of this life. It's just what's going to happen because at the end of the day, nobody accepts us fully. And there's so much negativity in this world that in a lot of ways we're kind of trained and we're kind of taught, not only to not accept others, but not to even accept ourselves. And so a lot of times that's what we put out. We the root cause is that we don't accept ourselves, and so we project it on to other people. And it shows that shows the world, even though you may not look at it as people know, but people know. And even though you're the one that needs the healing, a lot of times it's easier for us to look at people and see their healing or what they need healing in, what areas we feel like they need healing in. When a lot of times they may not even need no healing. A lot of times they need to accept themselves. Everything all the time is not really about, oh, you need healing. Sometimes it's about us just accepting people because a lot of times that healing that we're telling other people that we need is really just it comes from a standard of belief. It comes from a standard most of the time that this world has set up on us, and we've bought into it and we believe it. And so it's kind of like one of those things where why can't everybody just be different? Like, why do I have to be wrong because I'm not like you? Or why do I have to be wrong because you never met anyone like me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why does that have to be wrong or right? Why can't, if it ain't hurting nobody, if it ain't killing nobody, if it's not doing any harm and damage to people, then why can't it just be accepted? You know what I'm saying? So I started, thinking about social media and everything, and I started thinking about the way things are done. I start thinking about the way that our culture, especially, um, there's a habit of getting onto social media, and especially because it's a free platform that anybody can really get up and say whatever they want to in a lot of ways. Not always what you want, but a lot of times you can say very hurtful, nasty, negative, ugly, disparaging things about people, and just kind of put it out there, um, and that's I don't even think we realize that is our way of whatever kind of release we think we're going to get. You know what I'm saying? And so we put it's put out there. I'm not going to say we put that out there, but it's put out there that, I don't like your lashes. I don't like your hair. I don't like your lips. I don't like, um, the how short and tight your dress is. You know what I'm saying? And so, for whatever reason, we feel like our opinion matters to the point that, maybe that person's going to change, or maybe, if I say and disparage them enough, you know what I'm saying, they'll make some type of a change. And my question is, what if you don't like the other change that they make? What are you going to do again? You're just going to keep on. Um, there's products. There are products in this world, and I'm just using an example. There's products in this world that I do not like. Them talkies things, them that stuff that them children eat, that all that hot candy and with all that spicy hot, I don't think is good. I think it probably is going to do some damage lining to damage to some people's stomach lining if you keep on eating it and messing with that stuff. I don't think it's good at all. There are drinks and so forth that I do not like. I don't buy it, you know, but um that's really pretty much as far as it goes. I don't buy it. It's not in my space. Um Now, like the talkies and stuff like that, they used to be in my space because my daughter and a lot of young people, they like that. I think some older people too. But and I told my daughter about it, but she liked it and she wanted to eat it and whatever else. And she finally had to, get it to herself, or finally experience for herself where she was eating it so much, and all of a sudden she just kind of quit asking when I would go to the store to bring her back some Takis. And eventually, I remember a time when I was at the store and I'm asking her what she want or whatever, and I'm like, you don't want no Takis? I'm in the store, no, I don't really want that no more. It kind of messes with my stomach, you know. And it is not a gleeful thing that it is. It's just the fact that um, I know it's a real possibility, and I want her to be safe because I love her, and I started thinking about that uh, in like in relationships. Well, let me go back to the products at one point. Me talking about Takis, me disparaging Takis and doing a whole campaign about it and whatever, that wouldn't have really done much, because a lot of times what it does is it brings about a curiosity that makes people want to go, well, let me go try it out. Let me go see. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a whole sector of people who like them, a whole bunch of people who don't. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Nobody's the same. Everybody has different acceptance, um, different ways of accepting within them. Let's say a job. Let's say you do whatever you do on your job. You picked your career path, um, but you don't like. Let's see. You don't like butchers. You don't like butchers. Maybe it's a moral thing. Maybe it's a whatever, the meat smell, whatever. You don't believe. You're a big animal rights activist. Whatever. You don't like them. So do you go and take your campaign all over social media, and do you go and go to the meat plant every day and tell, the people how much you hate their job, how much you hate what they, and some people do that. You can only really do it for so long, but sometimes you do that, you know, but overall, it's not going to stop people from eating meat. Overall, um, it may be better and healthier for you to stop or whatever, and for you to spread the word to whomever. But at the end of the day, disparaging the industry or whatever is not really going to do too much. You know what I'm saying? And so I think about that in terms of relationships. I hear, so many guys, like I said, I don't like your hair. I don't like your lashes. You wear, your lashes too thick, too long for me. I don't like you wearing lipstick. You know what I'm saying? I like natural. And the common sense part of that is instead of saying all what you like and what you don't like and disparaging the person for doing it, uh a lot of times, there's an old saying talking about you get more bees with honey than with vinegar. And most, at the end of the day, when you're looking at it from a whole big gambit, you're not going to stop the eyelash industry. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to stop the lipstick industry. You're not going to stop what's really going on. Really, in so many ways, you're really just going to probably give yourself ulcers and high blood pressure from worrying about it so much. It would be a lot easier for you to avoid that than to just keep harping it and hyping on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, um, but so many times we have these campaigns where people are talking about what they don't like. I don't want a woman with a big nose. I don't want a woman with um, with lips so big or whatever. Like I don't want that, okay? And to me and really to the world, it would be better for you to easier for you to just avoid that than to just keep hyping on it. It's kind of just like just go get what you want. Just like instead of hyping about being a butcher, just don't be a butcher. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe in that. You don't believe in that industry. That's not you know, with the food, with the Takis, with the whatever else it is that you don't like, it would be a lot easier for you just to avoid it than to, you know what I'm saying? Um, Keep hyping it up and disparaging it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think about the positivity of it. I think about the positivity of if you got a woman with these long, thick lashes or whatever, it would be a lot easier for you if you really truly loved her. And everything else about her maybe is acceptable, you like it, whatever, you can deal with it or whatever. Maybe try loving her through the lashes. And I know that sounds silly, but maybe try loving her so much and letting her know that I'm not looking at the lashes, I'm looking in your eyes, I'm looking at you. And eventually you can see past it. Maybe, a lot of times we cover up in this world. A lot of times we cover up, we don't feel a certain way. We don't feel like we should. We don't feel good enough or whatever. And I don't know. Maybe her lashes are a cover up. I don't know. Maybe the long, thick, the what, maybe it's just something she likes, and then maybe it is a cover up, and maybe if you love her, or if you want to show her you love her, if you want to continue to stay with her and be with her, you'll let her know that, look, those lashes don't bother me to the fact that, I'm going to leave you or I'm going to just not be with you because of your lashes. I can love past that. You know what I'm saying? I can love past that. I can love past the physical, the outside. I can learn to love you deep enough that this outside stuff really doesn't matter. I'm looking for something deeper and greater within you. And I see something deeper and greater within you that will cause me to love and stay that way in love with you on a deeper level, you know. Um, so many things about our we look up on the outside. And matter of fact, I ain't trying to get preachy, but there's even a scripture that talks about how man looks upon the outward appearance, but God looks upon the heart. You know, what would it be like if you lost a great and wonderful woman because you didn't look deep enough to see past her lashes? You know, eventually she might stop wearing them that long. Eventually she might stop wearing them at all. Eventually she may not ever, but at the end of the day, what's her quality? Like I think that's where we get into so much trouble in this world because we're not able to look deeper within a person and deeper within what people really can bring to us and give to us if we stay with them long enough to work through it. You know what I'm saying? Like a person in your life or coming to you or whatever is not at all who they really are. Like at that point in time, like that might be where they are right now. You know what I'm saying? But if we can stay and bear with them and be their friend and love them and accept them enough, then man, it's so many golds and jewels within people. It's stuff within people that they don't even see. And we don't realize how, if we accept them and love them deeper enough, we can bring about those treasures. We really and truly can, you know. Um, it's really, I don't know. I guess that's really the message. I guess that's really all that I wanted to say in this, that we got to get to a point to where we realize because and another thing is that it's really not all it's not even really about that person. It's really about us. You know what I'm saying? It's really about us because sometimes learning to love um somebody else can really show us how to love ourselves. You know what I'm saying? If we can look past their faults, look deeper within, you know, um, can we really truly love them? Do you really think that people that's been married 40, 45, 50, 60 years, we keep talking about the old days. We keep talking about, grandma and grandpa and all that kind of stuff. Do you really think that grandma when grandma and grandpa met when they were 16 and 18 or 14 and 16 or whatever, do you really think that 30, 40 years later grandpa didn't have a lot of stuff he had to accept about grandma, especially after having 6, 7, 8 kids or whatever? Do you not think that she didn't grow a fupa? uh, for those that don't, for those of you that don't know what that is a part of the stomach of a woman who has had the babies, and it's stretched. You know what I'm saying? Pregnancy stretches and grows your stomach, your body. You know what I'm saying? And it don't always come back flat. You know what I'm saying? There are some women who actually really can. I know a woman who had, at the time, she had 7 kids, and she actually had twins after that, and she had 9 altogether. But with those 7 kids, that woman was wearing a bikini. Now she had some awesome jeans. She had some awesome jeans because I'm telling you, she wore a bikini. I saw her in the bikini. This was years ago, I still know them and their family. I know, her son now is a doctor. The daughter is a nurse practitioner with a very thriving mental health service in Houston, Texas. So, but yeah, just to let you know, I did know her. You know what I'm saying? And it can happen, but a lot of times it's where the woman's body is not going to pop back into shape. And like I'm saying, do you really think after all of that and after all of that time and years together that her body is the same? I mean, come on, your big mama body is not the same, but he still loved her. He loved the children. He loved what came from her. He loves her still, because it's not about how her body is now. It's the fact that he loved her heart. He loved her mind. He loves her way. Like it's so many things. And I just feel like we've lost, if some people have even ever had the ability to look deep within or deeper within, because it ain't even about you got to look so far with, oh God, I had to go to the depths of hell to find some love for her. It ain't even about that. It's just looking past the physical, and it's so much more that this woman gave me. It's so much more that, than what I see on the outside. Yeah, he probably saw a beautiful girl, teenage girl, whatever, that he fell in love with, you know, but when she started having babies and stuff like this, and her body is not the same. Well, her body ain't the same because she gave you children. She chose to take within herself your seed, bear the child all the way through, and have children for you. And now these are yours, you know? And I think a lot of times we just don't look at it like that. Like, you know, there's no more pride in pregnancy. Like, there's no more, there, well, it is, but there's so much shallowness in, so much detachment in men being given children. It's one of those things that, well, I didn't want the child, I didn't add. Okay, all right. Well, if that's the case, you really need to do things to prevent it on her side and your side. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think a lot of these men realize, and I'm gonna use this word. I don't like this word, but I'm gonna just use this word. I don't think a lot of men really look at and look at the whole picture and see just how dumb they sound, look, and behave when they tell a woman that I ain't tell you to have a child, but yet you didn't do anything to help prevent it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, like, why would you even put that all on her? Like, why would you even put yourself in a situation to where the possibility could be that she could have your child? Like, if and then you just up and just say, I'm going, I'm gonna leave it, and oh, that's on her. That's so reckless. You as a person, like, that's a part of you. Like, it really truly is a part of you, whether you wanted it or not. It shows really, that shows so much on you because you could have done things to prevent it. Like I say, I just don't think we look far enough within to realize our part in stuff. You know what I'm saying? It is so simple that if you don't want a child, you just do things to prevent it. There's a lot of black men who don't have children. There's a lot of black men who have one child or two children or whatever. They have they have enough maturity within themselves to want to prevent it, enough forethought within themselves to know how to prevent it. You know what I'm saying? uh, having babies used to be a planned thing. You know what I'm saying? Like having babies used to be, this is something me and her are going to do together after, we get a house and after I get my career going and after, what I'm saying, it used to be a planned thing. And it's sad that it's so reckless now, and it don't have to be. And that's one of the things that really gets me. Like the stuff that goes on in the black community is stuff that don't have to be. It just really don't have to be. And instead of blaming her and instead of, you know, having something to deal with and a child that now has to take the fall back to, oh, my daddy don't want me, or oh, they don't never come see me. They're never around. I didn't ask for you to have to. Yeah, I get it, but you didn't do anything to prevent it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not mature enough, and if you know you really don't, it would be a more mature thing just to prevent having the child. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of fighting with single baby mamas, just do stuff to prevent it from happening. You know what I'm saying? It's some of the solutions are so easy and simple until it's so silly, the stuff that we argue and fight about. It's so silly to argue and fight about a woman who wears weave in her hair and how much you hate it and how much you despise it and how much, it's so silly. But there have been men who have really made the argument that we have destroyed the black community. Like it's like they are grasping for so many straws until they just picking anything. And what's so silly about that is even once again, can you love her past the like is it anything deeper within her that you can see that maybe if you love her and accept her enough, maybe she will feel like she don't have to cover up with weave or whatever. There's so many reasons why women wear them, first of all, but instead of dogging her and telling her how bad and ugly and ghetto it. Da, da, da. Okay, first of all, either just not pick a woman who wears it, or if you want to be with her and you want her to stop, tell her how beautiful she is without it. Yeah, when she takes it off or whatever, rub her own hair, rub her own natural hair, because unless it really is the fact that you really don't like it. And a lot of times that's really what it is. And if you really don't like it, then okay, just move around. You don't have to talk about it. Just move around. But, you know, love her despite it. Are you mature enough to love her despite it? And I think a lot of the whole real true issue is that, and there was actually a scientific, that was a article talking about how so many men today, not just black men or whatever, but there's a lot of men today who are not even emotionally mature enough to even be in relationships. And I think a lot of times that actually is really the problem is that you have people who are just not even emotionally mature enough to even be in relationships out here pursuing relationships when that ain't really even what they need. They need to be working on themselves. They need to be, actually really truly finding out what they need. A lot of times, relationships are pushed on us so much, and relationships are, that's what you're supposed to do, find a woman, find a man. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's about finding you and finding what career path you want to take. Find out, do you want to go travel? Do you want, that's something that I taught my kids, my son and my daughter. Like for my son, like even though he hasn't done it yet, but I would tell my son, because my son has not had kids up in or late in life, what people would really say, like early, he's what 30, like he had his first son at 31. And so, that's late in life for a lot of people. You got people out here 15, 16 years old having children. And so I told him, though, I always told him to wait. I always told him he didn't have to, be tied down with no children. Same thing I'm telling my daughter. Enjoy your life, enjoy who you are, enjoy being a single man, enjoy, You don't have to tie yourself down. And it's almost like we're under some type of spell that people feel like, 14, 15, 16 years old, they got to go start pursuing relationships and then be mad when talking about somebody cheating on you. When you 14, 15, 16, I only think when you 20, 21, 22, and maybe that's because I'm older, but I don't even think you should be trying to tie yourself to no relationship. Like I really don't. When you are a teenager, what is it about life that you know? Like you don't need to be trying to live with people and tie yourself down to things and situations. You don't need to be tying yourself down to trying to have children. You're going to change so much. You are going to change so much. If the baby comes, and yeah, you got it, you got to deal with it, you got to, love it and raise it and all of that. But, I think we don't have a lot of forethought that makes us think about some of the things that we do. We just up and just do it, and it's sad. And then we be mad at people and how our life turned out, when at the end of the day it's because we didn't have enough forethought within ourselves to actually look at a situation at the big picture and realize, man, okay, I don't know this woman. I don't really want to be with her. Like, I met her in a club. I met her from across the street or down the street or whatever. And, I'm finna have unprotected sex with her. Chances of her having babies, because she just at the end of the day is of childbearing age, um, is pretty high. And so I need to look at the fact that this child is going to be mine not until they're 18, but for the rest of their life. Because let me tell you, as an older mom, when they get in 20s, 30s, and they don't stop needing you. Matter of fact, they start hand out, wanting more stuff, asking for more stuff. Like you be thinking it's over, it's time for me to go live my. Yeah, no, yeah, no. They still need, they still want, they still ask. You know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. And I just wish we would use more forethought. You know what I'm saying? That if it happened, I don't just up and leave and quit and everything. And I realize now that there is a child here that, I got to be there for them now, because at the end of the day, it's a part of me. And I think that's another part that seems to just like they just seem to detach themselves from the whole thing, the whole situation. And I don't get that or understand that. But I think once again, maybe it comes with emotional maturity. Maybe it comes with actually sitting down and analyzing and actually really thinking and thinking ahead, that I've done something now in my life that I need to take some responsibility for, and maybe take enough responsibility for that I don't keep doing it 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Maybe enough responsibility and afterthought at that point that I ain't gonna keep on doing this, man. Like, yeah, this ain't good. Instead of being mad at the child support system and being mad at the women, maybe I need to look within and realize that, if I keep my penis in my pants, or if I wrap my penis up, or if I do something to kind of help prevent the situation from happening, maybe if we go together and get some birth control, and maybe I really make sure that she is on birth control, and her birth control and my birth control, maybe we won't have no babies. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, just a thought. But I think, like I say, the problem is that we're not thinking far enough ahead. We're looking at our own pleasure, and we're just looking at what we want, and not realizing that every action, everything we do has consequences to it. Everything we do has consequences to it. So, um, you guys, I'm gonna stop the video there. I didn't want to really jump around a whole lot. My point, to bring it all home and to bring it all together, is that um a lot of times, like I say, instead of dogging a thing, or hating on a thing, or disparaging a thing, or talking about how much we don't like the thing, um, maybe we need to start kind of learning how to look deeper and, you know, realize that she really is a beautiful and wonderful woman, you know, despite the lashes, beside the lipstick, beside the whole face of makeup and all that kind of stuff, um, is something deeper within. And if I don't want to go and look deeper within, then maybe I need to just leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have the ability to do that, then maybe, I need to take responsibility for my life and just leave it alone. And maybe if I do love her enough or love him enough, you know, that I can look past his scars. I can look past her scars. I can look past whatever it is that's not as appealing and see all the other things that are appealing, um, that I can deal with. You know what I'm saying? Can I deal with it? You know, honestly and truly, and I'm done. But honestly and truly, that is how I've learned to look at relationships. And actually, I've been doing it for many years. But I look at something, I look at a situation, a person, whatever, and I really truly ask myself, do I want to look at that every day? Do I want to do I want to see that every day? Do I How far down the line do I want to deal with that? I see how they are. Do I want to deal with that? Or is everything, are there other things within them that I can deal with, that I can more than likely work with, and we can work that situation out? Because one of the things I think we don't realize is that sometimes we don't like it, something within a person or whatever. A lot of times they may not like it either. Maybe they're willing to work with it with you. Maybe it's that they want to change it too. You know what I'm saying? But talking about them and disparaging them and all that usually doesn't work. Like, that really is not something that motivates people and causes people to want to change. You know what I'm saying? It's usually, like I said in the beginning, those positive things, those positive affirmations, for them to say, well, yeah, you might be this way today. This is how you came to me, you know, but it ain't gonna always be that way. It ain't gonna always look like that. It's not gonna always be the same. And I think that's another thing that shows a lot of emotional maturity, is that when you realize that nothing stays the same. Things change all the time. Yeah, you met her with a blonde wig, and especially a black woman, next week she might have some long black braids. You know what I'm saying? 2 years from now, she may want to be natural. I mean, she's just straight Angela Davis. You know what I'm saying? And so, especially with that, to judge people on that kind of stuff is so silly and weak. And really, what it does is it just causes us really to be unhappy. It really, really does. Nobody's perfect. Nobody comes here completely all right. you know. Um, this is what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna finish the video. Um, I think I told y'all before, I'm seeing this guy. He's younger than me, and anyway. So honestly, he's gorgeous. He's gorgeous. He really is. I mean, he is model gorgeous, and I'm just being honest. He's model gorgeous. Everybody that I show his picture to, be like, let me see that again. So he really, really is. Um, but there's things in him and things that, pillow talk and all the stuff that we talked about, that, he, man, you could almost say don't like himself, you know? There's physical things about him that he's confessed that he don't like, or that he wish wasn't, or whatever. And I look at him, and I'm just looking on the outside. I'm like, dude, like, man, I don't be telling him that all the time, because I ain't trying to swell his head up, because but I'm just like, but it's inner things that he knows, you know but I can accept him enough and be with him enough that it doesn't bother me because I know I ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not perfect. And there's things that he accepts about me that I honestly and truly, like, I really seriously have a hard time accepting. And I want to work through it. And he's helping me because he's accepting me. Like, he's not saying things even that other people have said to make me feel bad about it continually. You know what I'm saying? He accepts it. He loves it. Tells me, he loves not only it, but loves me. And sometimes when you've been like dogged so much and when you've been treated so badly and when you have these traumas, I don't think people realize. I made a video a few weeks ago and I was talking about how a lot of times, every time a woman, especially a black woman, opens up social media, some type of app, some type of whatever, we are so re-traumatized because I hear men all the time, oh, just ignore it. Just don't listen to them. Just turn that podcast off. Just don't. But the thing is, you see it everywhere. Like, you almost can't even get on social media as a black woman and be on there even, I'm going to say really 5 good minutes. 10 is stretching it. But without hearing hate, disparage, I don't like you, I'm getting a white woman, she's better than you. Like, men don't, and I'm going to do a whole video about that. I have it all ready to do a whole video about that. But men don't see things like women do. They don't realize how it does really re-traumatize a person. And I think they know in a way what they're doing because they put that energy out there to be hateful, hurtful, ugly, mean, rude, and nasty. So it's already out there. They just don't care who it hits. As long as it's a black woman, they don't care who it hits. And it really is traumatic. Like, it really, really, truly is. As a black woman, I'm telling you, if no other black woman says it, if no other black woman, don't bother me. It may not bother you today, but overall, it does, and it's hurtful, and it's mean, and it's nasty and ugly, and it ain't gonna stop us. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna make us kowtow or just quit, and we just ain't gonna be awesome, wonderful, magnetic, and beautiful, magical black women. It's not going to do that, but it still hurts. And like, why you want to put hurt out there? You know what I'm saying? It hurts and it's traumatic and it's not easy just to, oh, just don't listen to them because 3 or 4 more scrolls and it's going to be somebody else doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I know me speaking about it is not going to stop it. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show that even you being that way, even you putting that stuff out there is not going to stop all black women. Like, it's not. I mean, really, what you're doing is you're really through our trauma giving us more strength, more courage, and the ability to be like, okay, I stepped over that one too today. It's still out there, it's still there, but I stepped through it and I kept going and I kept moving and I kept pushing forward, and I'm not gonna let it stop me, you know, and it just really strengthens us. So in a lot of ways, even though you're putting it out there for negative, kind of like, once again, a scripture would, what the devil meant for bad, God will turn it around and use it for good. And that's just what keeps happening with black women. It really does. So you guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this message, something positive. I don't even have a title for it yet, but I hope you can really listen to the deep message, and I hope it's something that can make you think. That's what my videos are for, um, to tell stories, to give examples and things like that, to hopefully make you look at something in a different way and kind of give it a deeper perspective for yourself and for your life. So like the video, please hit the notification bell, all notifications, so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, see you next time.